All right, we're hitting biceps. Now, you probably wouldn't train them by themselves. You pair them up with triceps, back, however you do it. I just like to keep these videos nice and short, and I still don't know what you got access to. Some people still are just stuck with their wife's pink dumbbells. So we're gonna start off with the cables, we'll do a dumbbell variation, and then we'll finish with a barbell exercise. Sets and reps in the description. Let's get after it. All right, so we're gonna start off with easy bar cable curls because like I said before, cables are the ultimate way to really develop that mind-muscle connection. Make sure you get a perfect contraction every time. And as long as you're doing them correctly, there's no wasted effort whatsoever. So we're gonna go through a couple different variations I like to do. And the way I decide which one I'm gonna do that day is I'll walk in and nothing is set in stone, is I'll do a set of each, and whichever one hurts the most, that's what I'm gonna do. I'd say about half the people can walk up, put very little thought into it, have a great connection to these. The other half are gonna feel those anterior delts. So that's either from going too heavy or just a horrible learned behavior of letting those elbows drift forward and back throughout the movement, really just to kind of protect that bicep on the negative portion of it and almost keeping it in a static position. So where you can fix that is by isolating down even further by tucking those elbows on your stomach and treating your stomach like a preacher curl and then curling up from there. Now, some people's shoulders are so intrusive, they're still gonna jump in the last exercise. So what you can do, which I'm tempted not to show you because there's gonna be some guy, possibly girl, but probably a guy that's gonna walk too far forward and grind that cable against his junk, or even worse, back all the way up and floss his ass with it and say, it's okay, he told me I could do it. Not the case. The correct way to do it is just walk slightly forward, lean into it a little bit. And the nice part about this, and instead of doing the other way where you're pulling back towards you, which it's easy to see how your shoulders can pull up and jump into it. With this, you're tucked forward and you're isolated all the way down to those biceps. You really have to mess up to get those shoulders to jump in. Now, if you still feel your shoulders in that last exercise, I would just lean into the fact that you are a messed up human being and do more drag curls. So face that same way, lean slightly forward, and then drag curl straight up from there. I guarantee you those you're gonna connect with. Now, when it comes to dumbbells, I've never been a big fan of traditional alternating curls because one side gets to rest too much. On top of that, as you pronate that weight down, I feel like it jumps from the bicep into that brachialis and you lose that tension on that bicep. So unless I'm doing something hammer specific, I like to keep my wrist supinated the entire time and keep that constant tension. And one way you can do that, which I don't think I've gone over yet, is incline drag curls. Now, the one thing you're gonna watch out for here is letting those elbows drift too far forward and actually connecting that line between your hands and your forehead. In that case, you're just doing a regular incline curl. What you wanna do is make sure you let those drift straight back, and you're actually gonna be pulling back at an angle because you wanna touch those hands to those shoulders, and that's the curl. All right, so we're finishing up on the straight bar doing reverse grip curls, and I don't see a lot of people do these, and I think it's because they're horrible and they suck, but they work really well. Now, one thing you'll notice is as I'm coming up, I don't go much above halfway because for me, and I think most everybody, I mean, that's all your bicep can take at that point. You're flexing that wrist, that's the end of the contraction. Any further, you gotta get that shoulder involved. I don't know what the hell you're doing if you're getting it all the way up here. And the second thing you're gonna notice is I really get those wrists involved. So during the negative portion, I flex that wrist down, and as I come up during the contraction, I'll flex that wrist back and up. And that's gonna really just enhance the contraction on that brachialis even more. Again, as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment for the video you want next. Get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.